Today I will show you how to make the craziest transition. So as you guys saw, this transition is actually insane, and I would definitely recommend to use it in your music video projects or any other editing project whatsoever. But also guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is Povikas and I run a super dope video editing website called povikas.com, where I have all of my presets packs that I use in every single one of my editing projects. If you would like to check out my video editing website, then I'll have my all packs bundle linked in the description, which includes every single presets pack that I've ever made, and also all of my future editing packs as well. But anyways guys, let's get into the tutorial. Alright guys, so in After Effects I have a couple of clips of LaserDim from one of his music videos, and pretty much how this transition works is, let's say you want to transition from one clip to another clip. Well, we could have like a gap between these two clips, and we can fill in the gap with like very random clips, or even like frames, or even just pictures. Literally anything can fill this up. Like this can be super random. Like you could take a bunch of like clips, like I just have like these random clips of LaserDim, so I could just go like 3 frames forward, press Ctrl Shift D, then go a bit forward, maybe like press Ctrl Shift D, delete that one. So like you could have 3 clips like this. Actually that might be a bit too much, like that. Then have a bit more of this, press Ctrl Shift D, find new clips, and just go on. So you would actually fill a gap between these two clips that you want to transition between. Now this process can be very random. So if you want to transition from one clip, like you can go 1, 2, 3 frames like this, then 1, 2, 3 frames like this, or like you see, like just very random frames. And here I also put a side clip, so how to make like a side clip if you want to make it. So if you actually want like a side clip, because I think that looks super cool, you could just bring any clip that you would like and take this rectangle tool and just mask it like this, and just press P and put it to the side. Like you can put it to the left side, you could put it to the right side. It's just going to look really cool when the transition is happening. And then you can just go on, like look, I have just another clip here, then 2 frames of this clip, and then it transitions to another side clip of LaserDim sitting on a car, and then it goes to these frames, and then to very random frames right here. What's important is you just have frame switching every couple of frames, so every 2 frames, every 3 frames whatsoever, something like that. And on top of this whole transition, you can press Ctrl Y, and here's going to be the most important part, where we're actually going to be adding the effects. So at the start we can add something like CC lens, and as you can see, it's going to have this cool, like almost like a warp effect, but I'll just like to make the size to 500 at the start and keyframe it at the start to 500. And now let's add hue saturation, and again just keyframe it at nothing. We don't want to mess around with it yet. And now we can add noise, and for this effect I do like to make it to like 36% and turn off the use color noise. And here we can add directional blur. Now we're not going to use it right now, but we can make the direction to something like 129, and we can also add exposure, and here we're actually going to be using it. So let's first keyframe the exposure to 0 and the offset and gamma correction, but the offset, let's make it to 0.7, so it's going to be like really bright. And we can also add as hotspots, and as hotspots, like right now we're not going to do anything, we're just going to turn off the threshold. And also on top of every effect, I forgot to add an effect called Minimax. And pretty much with this effect, let's just make the radius at the start to 0, go to direction and make it to just horizontal, and then go to the ending of our transition, and here we can make the radius to like 11. Now I'll show you later on what that actually does, but now let's go back to our first frame, and here we can go 1 frame forward, and we can make the offset to 1. So now it's fully white. So what this is going to do is pretty much it's gonna like bump up the whiteness. It's gonna look like a flash. And now we can go 1 frame forward, and here you can make the offset to 0. So it flashes and then it's back to normal. Now you can add a bunch of these flashes in your transition, or you can just keep it like just 1 flash, but we're going to add a couple in very random parts. And actually on this frame, we can go back to the CC lens and make the size to like 118, and this kind of like a warp is going to pop out, which is going to look really cool. This is very popular in a lot of music video transitions. And as you can see, right now we were just messing with this one clip, and then it goes to another clip. So here I would definitely recommend to switch to a new clip. So here I just have this clip, and I also have the left side popping out, as you can see. And here we can just pretty much keep it just like this. But here we can also press U to see all of our keyframes we have just made. And here I just want to keyframe the offset to 0 and go 1 frame forward, and guess what, we're just gonna make it to white white frame. So we're gonna make it to 1. 1 makes it into a white frame, and then go 1 frame forward and make it back to 0, so it's not a white frame anymore. And as you can see, guys, this is again another different clip, and this clip is just going to last literally for 1 frame, and it's gonna go back to the old clip. I think that's pretty cool. But one really cool thing you could do here is make the master saturation and hue saturation to -100, so it's now fully black and white. And here we could actually keyframe the CC lens to 118 and put this keyframe 1 frame back and make it to 500 right here. So it's gonna have no lens here. I like to make it switch around a little bit, so now it looks like this. Actually, that's already a really cool transition, and you could just keep it like that and just end it right there. But let's keep going. Let's make this a super crazy transition. So let's go 1 frame forward, and here let's make the master saturation back to 0. And now let's go to the directional blur and actually go 1 frame back, keyframe the direction and blur length, go 1 frame forward and make the blur length like 120, and then go 1 frame forward, and here make the blur length something like 50, but the direction you can make it go like on top, like right there, and then go 1 frame forward, and here make the blur length to 0, so there's no more directional blur. And what pretty much happened here is I had a directional blur right here, and then it went to a new clip. But as you can see, the left side was still there. It could be a bit confusing. I'm just doing very random things, by the way, guys, with the clips, so you don't have to fully copy it just like I'm doing, but I think it looks pretty cool. So let's go 1 frame forward now. And here we can actually make the mass saturation to -100 again, and also keyframe the CC lens size. And now go 1 frame forward, and here make the size to something like 118 as well. So now that the lens is gonna pop out like that. Oh yeah, and also go 1 frame back, and here just keyframe all of these from exposure. And here let's turn up the exposure to something like 1, and the camera correction to like 2.06 or something. So this part is actually going to be one of my favorite parts. It's just going to have this one singular clip for like 5 frames, but it's going to get darker and brighter. Oh yeah, and also here keyframe the offset as well, and go 1 frame forward, and here, guess what? Make the offset to 1 to make it into widescreen. Make the exposure to 0 here, the gamma correction to 0, and then go 1 frame forward and make the offset to 0. And here we can make the exposure like 0.66 and the gamma correction to something like 0.29. But this is where I absolutely love to use the S hotspots. Now, S hotspots, by the way, you might not have because it's a part of a Sapphire plugin, so you just don't really need to have it if you don't have it. But for this, we have to go 1 frame backwards, keyframe the blur input, the threshold, go 1 frame forward, and here make the blur input to 6 and the threshold to 0.25. And let's go 2 frames forward, and here we can make the CC lens size something like 95. Like this is going to get it squished, and we can go 1 frame forward, and here make it back to like 120, and the exposure let's make to 0.87. The gamma correction we could make to like 0.36, and go back to the S hotspots, and here we can make the blur input to like 11 and the threshold to 0.56. Wait, we can actually press U to see all of our keyframes back again. And here in between these keyframes that we made, like right here, we could also mess around a lot with the exposure. So we could make the gamma correction a bit lower here and the exposure like really high, and then go 1 frame forward and make the exposure like low, the gamma correction even lower, just like that. So that's actually going to look really cool. And then as you can see, this was one singular clip with a right side clip popping out, and then after this keyframe, look, it's up to a new clip. So now let's go 1 frame forward, and here I like to go to the hue saturation and make the master saturation to 0, and that's going to make the colors pop out again. Let's make the hotspot to 0, threshold to 0, gamma correction to 1, and the exposure to 0. And if you want, we can go 1 frame backwards, and here keyframe the amount of noise, and here make the amount of noise to 0, so it's not noisy, it's just like a new clip. And go 1 frame forward, press Ctrl Shift D, delete, and here we can press Ctrl Y again and just add something like invert, and on top of invert we could add like some sort of like a glow and make the glow areas like really high. Or if you want to have a bit of a better glow, we could also add like a deep glow too, but that does require a paid plugin, so if you don't have it, you don't really need it. Alright guys, and look what we have just created. That looks absolutely incredible. Just remember, very random clips, like with super random clips, like very random, like this does not even make sense if you think about it, but it just really works. That's pretty much like a lot of the music video transitions. They just don't really make sense, but they just actually work just like this one. I mean, if you want to make it even better, then you can press Ctrl Y and go to effects and presets, animation presets, user presets, and for this case I love to use my impact presets pack, which is included in my all packs bundle, by the way. editing. And here I absolutely love to add a flash shake. And this is how it looks now. It looks very, very complete just with a flash shake. But flash shake is just one of the combinations you can add. Like you could add like a puddle impact, which is a very popular music video effect. It gives you kind of like a shock wave like that. But on top of it, press Ctrl Y and we can add something like insane chroma distortion. And with this combination, we will get this insane result. I mean, I truly think this is one of the best music video transitions. It's also inspired by Noah So Cold because he uses a bunch of these style of transitions in his music videos. But yeah, anyways guys, that's about it for the video. And if you would like to learn how to make another insane music video transition, then I'll have it pop up somewhere here on the screen so you can easily check out that tutorial. But anyways guys, have a great day. See ya.